Loaded with beef, veggies and a mix of fragrant spices, this sensational Cypriot stew is easy, delicious and the perfect way to mix up your midweek meal.
And it smells amazing, and here to show us how to do it is content creator Nikoletta Nicolaou. Good morning to you, Nikoletta. This is amazing. Let's start with the stew. You're stewing already. What have you got in the pan?
We are stewing. So I've already got onions and garlic that I've softened, along with beef mince. Now, traditionally, we would use pieces of beef or pieces of chicken, but I'm a busy mum, so I need quick and easy meals, so minced meat works wonders and cuts that time. Next, I'm adding some tomato paste, about 2 tablespoons, and then a tin of tomatoes. That gets simmered down for a little while until it caramelizes. Then I add some spices and herbs, just some dried oregano, sweet paprika, a pinch of cinnamon. We love cinnamon and Cypriot cooking. It brings warmth, it brings depth, and salt and pepper.
And then they're pretty available spices, aren't they?
Yes,
so all things you can find quite easily.
Exactly. This should be a staple as we enter the tail end of winter for everyone at the moment.
How long are you cooking that then?
Well, that gets simmers down until it's rich and saucy, and then we go straight in with our vegetables. A load of potatoes and chopped carrots, just cut into bite-sized pieces just to reduce cooking time, and peas.
Frozen peas.
Frozen peas,
always
all you need.
Exactly. This is no fuss, isn't it? It's kind of everything is relatively straightforward, but the results, which we're getting to, are quite far from
in goes the stock. Yeah, you do need just simple ingredients, fresh ingredients, and you've got something really delicious, nutritious.
And how long are we cooking this for?
That will simmer for about 40 to 50 minutes. You give it a stir every now and then, but you can sort of forget about it and crack on with your day while that cooks.
Okay, and you also have, I can see this delicious bread on the table. This is made from scratch, Cypriot bread?
It is. This is we call it golori d'artilia, which translates to finger bread, essentially, and it's shaped like this, and these essentially are the fingers. Now, how to make this? It goes hand in hand with this. There's a bunch of spices in my dough already, so I've shaped it into a log. I've got cinnamon and cloves for depth and warmth. I have some ground aniseed and ground fennel for a sweet licorice aroma, and then finally something called mastic, which is a natural resin which gives a pine-like fresh aroma, and finally mahlebi, which are ground cherry kernels, and they give sweet almond aroma. So it's all about the aromas in this bread. Now, to finish it off, I'm just going to damp it around and just...
Because I think this is the step that a lot of people would be, I guess, potentially overwhelmed by, how to get that sort of bakery look or a really unique look to their...
It takes a bit of practice, and when I first started making this a few years ago now, it was a disaster, but still tasted well, you know, still tasted really good. Now, the trick is to tighten it up so you've got a bit of tension now. This has been sitting here for a little while as we've been waiting, but you would roll that in the sesame seeds, and let's pretend that's all covered nicely. And then literally cut straight through the dough into about 8 pieces.
You're almost cutting right through.
You are. You're cutting right through.
So not scoring on the top, it's actually right through.
You are cutting right through, and you would give it a little reshape. And as that has a second prove, the pieces would stick together again. And then that goes straight into the oven, about 30-40 minutes, and then you get something that looks like this. You tear a bit off, just like this. Dip right into your stew. We call it voti in Cyprus. So when you get your bread, you go voti.
And what does that mean?
It just means dipping.
Okay. That's just made.
Should I voti?
A stew needs a toasty bread, maybe some butter. Is that butter's okay to put?
We'd normally opt for a bit of olive oil, but the sauce from the stew is all you need.
That is divine. You can really taste the cinnamon in it too. And with this, with the bread, with some of the spices that you mentioned, where do you get those from? Because some of the ground cherry, like that doesn't sound like something I see at my supermarket. But where do you get that
you can find Greek, Cypriot, Lebanese greengrocers that stock them. So
So
just look online maybe as well?
Online, you can get some online also too,
It's been quite cold recently.
Yes.
The evenings especially. That would be delicious to sit down in front of your favourite show, on the couch, bowl of this.
My 2-year-old devours this. So it's not just for, the grown-ups. Kids could potentially enjoy it too.
And a great way to sneak veggies in as well.
Yes.
Can I just ask though, with the bread, it was the normal sort of, you'd let it rise, like it's the normal process to make bread as well?
Yeah, you bring the dough together.
Are amazing. All of the herbs, it's
the
really
spices.
different tasting. Really different
and
tasting
little
bread.
notes,
It's delicious.
just little notes,
Yeah,
aren't they?
the spices are unique to Cypriot baking and also Greek, Lebanese, Middle Eastern sort of baking. Yeah, very unique. And
I'm going to try the finger bread. Mine might look more like Prince Charles's sort of wayward fingers.
You get
but I'm
take
going to give it a
home
go
with you.
Oh, well,
There's
I'll
one
just
for you
use
each
yours
then.
So the Cypriot take on the finger bun, but a savoury
Somewhat,
version.
yeah, you can say that, yeah. Without the icing.
Much nicer though. This is delicious. Of course, we'll put the full recipe on our website. I knew you were going. I was looking at you like if I could get the next bite, but he's gone in. I have to wait for the ad break. Delicious. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Nikoletta.
enjoy.
And of course, you can get more great ideas and follow Nikoletta under Nikoletta's Kitchen on Instagram, and we'll put the recipe on our website.